Hello, everybody. Live again after what was 3 hours of fantastic action between Liverpool and Chelsea. Liverpool winning the Carabao Cup, so I'm absolutely delighted about that. But we are now here for the FA Cup fifth round draw, and I'm delighted to say that my guest yet again is Mr. Richard Davies from Rich Sports. How are you, Rich?
I'm good, Doug. Congratulations on your trophy.
Yeah, thank you.
First
First triumph since 2011, so it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, no, it's good to see someone different from Man City, I suppose. Even though it's difficult to pick a team you want to win, isn't it?
Yeah. Hello, Gary Richards. As he just said there, Kepa is a mug. Yeah. This is why you should never sub your goalkeeper off. Mendy for me was man of the match. I thought Mendy was absolutely superb in that game, and I thought Mendy as a whole, I thought he was man of the match because he kept Chelsea in it. To be fair, Kelleher kept us in it as well, and Klopp's decision to play Kelleher has been, proved correct because he was excellent. I think the two keepers were excellent, but yeah, Kepa refused to be subbed in the 2016 final against City. And then all of a sudden now, 2019 final, and then it's just one of those things. But we're not here to talk about Liverpool against Chelsea. We are here to talk about the FA Cup fifth round, which are happening on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then next Monday. Yeah, I'll get into that. But we will start with probably. I think this is probably a banker of an away win for sure. But Peterborough against Manchester City. I mean, Peterborough have just lost their manager as well, Darren Ferguson. He's parted company with the club. City going really well as well. I can't see anything other than the City win, to be fair, Rich. I actually think this could be a comfortable. I'm going to go 4-1 to Man City. I think Peterborough might get a goal, but I'm actually going to go for a 4-1 win to City.
In Peterborough, atrocious form recently, and obviously they just lost the manager. It must be for the second time. He's been there a couple of times, hasn't he, Dan Ferguson? Again, City are probably going to rest most of their first team, but it's not going to make any difference whatsoever. It's going to be pretty comfortable, I'd imagine. I'd probably go 4-0 City. I don't know if Peterborough actually get anything out of the game. I'd have to. If Man City get to the final, you'd have to work out who they played because I think they're going to have the easiest run ever. Because again, they're playing a team that are way out of form. I can't see a struggle at all. I hope I'm wrong, but you never know. But I just can't see Peterborough getting anything in this game.
No, I can't either. And especially as you said, their form has been absolutely horrific this season. And you know what? It's all about whether they want the FA Cup. And if I'm being honest, I don't really see them wanting the FA Cup, to be honest. So for me, I think that I think Peterborough will be exiting this competition, and I think City will be way too strong for Peterborough, if I'm being totally honest. So guys, remember to get your predictions in the chat as well, and we will read them out. As we move on to the second game, Crystal Palace against Stoke City. Crystal Palace, good 4-1 win over Watford midweek. They did draw 1-1 with Burnley as well. Stoke were involved in a 2-2 draw with Luton Town, I believe it was, at the weekend. This is a tough one, actually, because Stoke are going well in the Championship. Crystal Palace are going well in the Premier League. If I'm a Palace fan, I would want a cup run. So I am going to go for a 2-0 win to Palace. I was tempted to put maybe a 1-1, maybe after going to extra time, but I do think Crystal Palace will win this one. I'm going to go 2-0 to Palace.
Yeah, I think Crystal Palace, for me, they fall into this group of teams that are safe from relegation, not going to get into Europe, and they have historically had a few cup runs, haven't they? Certainly, It wasn't that long ago. Last time we won against them in the final. I think Crystal Palace are going to be odds-on favourite for this one. I'd probably go probably give Stoke City a goal. I think Stoke will give them a bit of a test. I don't see Crystal Palace as being heavy scorers, so I'd probably go 2-1. But I think Crystal Palace fans, if you're a Crystal Palace fan, then you definitely want to put out your strongest team in this. Don't worry about the league. I think you could potentially get quite far in this competition if the draw favours you. So I think Stoke as well, they're doing okay, but I do think they're going to run into a pretty much full strength Crystal Palace side, and I think there's a good opportunity for them to see how far they can go this year. And any other year, they might possibly be worried about relegation, but the way there's probably at least 6-7 teams worse than them in the league and not picking up points whatsoever, so they've got a decent cushion. So I think it could be a good day for Palace fans.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think the thing is, Palace fans will want a cup run. I think the first they have got is obviously the final against you guys. So why not? They're pretty much safe from relegation, aren't they?
You don't have to worry about the league. I think so. Go for it. See how far you can get, because there'll be a few teams that they might meet later on that might be a bit worried about whether they're playing for top 4 or whether they're playing to avoid relegation. Crystal Palace can put their strongest team out every round, so they should go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll come on to your conquerors now. Middlesbrough against Tottenham. Middlesbrough winning on penalties against Manchester United to knock them out. Tottenham, it's safe to say, knocked out Brighton by 3-1. But Tottenham did win 4-0 against Leeds, which, let's be honest, was not really a surprise. Middlesbrough, I think, beat West Brom. Steve Bruce still hasn't won a game as West Brom manager, by the way. So that managerial appointment is going really, really well. But something in the back of my mind wants to say that Borough will take Tottenham all the way again. I'm going to go 1-1. But I think Tottenham will win after extra time. I don't think it's going to be penalties. I'm going to go 1-1, but I think Tottenham will win after extra time.
Yeah. So against Middlesbrough, so Manchester United had so many chances, and if Tottenham can do that, although it is away from home, if Tottenham could get that many chances, Harry Kane or even Son, they're not going to miss that many. So I do think that Tottenham will get through this. But I think Middlesbrough will give them a fight. I mean, Middlesbrough still... We gave them a couple of chances and in the end paid for it. I think it's going to be 2-1. But I think Tottenham, whether or not they start, so if Son or Kane, whether they get rested and they see if they can do it without them, or they come off the bench, I think they're going to be the difference. And I think Tottenham will have too much. They have been hit and miss, though. I mean, Leeds, you can't really count. But they did win at City. And that's an extremely impressive achievement. And they were the better team. And they did manage to score a few goals against a very difficult team to score against. So I think on the day, Tottenham are really good. But it's just like any other club around the sort of maybe 3rd to 7th in the Premier League. They could win fantastic one week, awful the next. So I think Tottenham will maybe go for a cup run again because they need a trophy. And yeah, maybe this is the game to actually go full strength, try and win the game early. So I'll go Tottenham 2-1.
2-1 Tottenham. Let's see what some of you are saying. King Kelleher says Gary Richards. Yep, Kelleher was fantastic, as was this man, Diaz. First finals Liverpool player. He absolutely gave Chalobah a really hard run, for sure. Hello, Asian Delight. I hope you're well. Mitchell Balzan is in. Bloody hell, Doug. Non-stop work up the fucking Reds. Yep, 100%. Absolutely, indeed. Now we do speak about Chelsea, as they've got a London derby against Luton Town. I mean... If I'm being honest, Luton Town did end Cambridge's run by winning 3-0. Are Luton Town about to end Chelsea's run in the FA Cup? What do you think?
It's hard to see it. Really. I mean, Chelsea obviously going to be disappointed losing today. They've still got a very good team, even if they're a bit inconsistent. I mean, they're struggling to score goals sometimes in games, although I don't think that's going to be an issue against Luton. They're going to have way too much quality short. And also, they've got to be one of the teams that are not in a title race, but they've got to be pretty confident at top 4. They just got to keep things ticking over. I think they're going to beat Luton 10. I'm going to go Luton 0, Chelsea 2. I think it'll be maybe not a comfortable game, but I think Chelsea got way too much for Luton.
I agree. Unfortunately, I do think that it will be a Chelsea win. I think it might be comfortable, but I could see Luton scoring. Maybe Alan Campbell, who's been fantastic for Luton Town as well.
It might depend how strong Chelsea go, because sometimes
true.
If you take it too lightly, and you can certainly see that in the first couple of rounds of the cup. If you take it too lightly and put out a team that are not necessarily bad, but just not used to playing together as a team, and you meet a team that like Luton Town that really play well, really up for it, then it can be difficult. And if you start slow, sometimes it can be difficult, particularly away from home. They're going to have like the biggest crowd they've had for ages, aren't they? They're going to be really up for this Luton. But if Chelsea take it seriously and do put out pretty much a full-strength team, I think they'd win. And I don't see why they wouldn't do that at the moment. It might depend on how sort of Champions League, but they did have a comfortable win in the first leg of that one. Yeah,
they did. I'm gonna go 3-1 Chelsea. I think they'll bounce back after obviously today's disappointment, and I think they'll win. Chris Welsh. Right, on my way on the train back home to Carlisle. Memorable weekend in London. Carlisle winning at Orient, followed by Liverpool winning. Epic tense penalty shootout final and cup final. Memorable weekend. Chris, you've had an absolute... I mean, I don't think you would have expected to have gone to Leyton Orient, Carlisle, and obviously you've managed to do that, but I get to Wembley as well. Fantastic. Most likely going to be back home at 1:30, but being worth it. Wow. That's what you want as a football fan, is to have a very, very good day out. You're on the train home and you've seen your team win at Wembley, and you've basically come home, going home, and you're going to probably be home about 1:30. That's fantastic. Shane O'Donnell, good evening. Peterborough 0, Man City 3. And Shane O'Donnell's going for 2-1 to Crystal Palace. So I think he's just catching up. Anyway, but everyone is obviously welcome to the stream. Now, one of 2 Premier League clashes is Southampton against West Ham.
This is a tough one, isn't it?
It's a tough one.
Because I don't know, each team, Southampton are probably best run of form for a while now. They're in the top 10. They're looking very good. West Ham beat Wolves, so really hard. I mean, what's your thoughts on this one?
Well, yeah, again, I think both sides are safe from relegation. West Ham are going really well. I mean, they beat Wolves 1-0 earlier today. Southampton beat Norwich. Both of these sides will determine later. I've got a feeling that both of these sides will want a cup run as well. Because none of them, I know West Ham are going for top 4. You know, they're your rivals for top 4. Southampton are not in any relegation trouble again, so this could be a good cup tie. This could be a very, very good cup tie. Oh,
I've got in my mind what I think. I'm thinking maybe Southampton might edge this one. I don't know why. I think they're both playing well, both in decent form. West Ham have got the European competition as well, and top 4. I think for Southampton, this is all they've got, really, isn't it? So I just think maybe they want it more. It sounds a bit ridiculous, but I think this is pretty much all Southampton have got, apart from finishing probably in the top 10. So I'm going to say 2-1, but I think it might be one of those games where both teams might go for it, and it might be quite a good watch.
Yeah,
but I mean, probably the most even fixture, I reckon, in the round. Maybe the hardest one to predict.
I agree. I think if you look at Southampton, though, they're probably in better form than West Ham are. I think if you look at it as a whole, I know West Ham won today, which is a very good win against Wolves. Socha again, the only goal there. I just think Southampton recently I think there's a 3-4 match winning run that they're on at the moment.
They've built a bit of momentum, haven't they, and started climbing the league. West Ham have been sort of a couple of wins, defeat, win, draw. They've been a bit hit and miss, but they've been kind of staying in around that sort of 5th, 6th area, or just below United at the moment. Southampton have gradually got better as the season's gone on, and they've improved. Where you see teams like Brighton maybe slipping a bit, Southampton are picking up those places. So I think this is probably a good time for Southampton to play this sort of game. It's probably the best they're playing so far this season. That's kind of why I could be completely wrong, but that's why I'm just edging towards Southampton in this one.
I'm thinking 1-1, and then I'm thinking who's going to win after extra time. And then I'm thinking that I think Southampton might actually sneak this. Oh, it's probably the toughest game to predict of the round, I would say, is this one.
I'll be very surprised if it ends like a 3-0 to somebody. And I just think I'm not sure
yes.
that happened.
I would be amazed if it ended 3-0 to somebody as well. Who'd I go for? I'm going to go 1-1. And then Southampton after extra time. So that's what I think. And obviously I need to put Tottenham AET. But yeah, I just think Southampton might beat West Ham. But we'll see. Shane O'Donnell, your comment is coming twice. I don't know how that's happened, but there we go. Southampton 2. Oh, that's why. He's gone Southampton 2, West 1, and then he's changed it to Southampton 2, West Ham 1. Say Liverpool win the Champions League. Can't see any other team winning it. I wouldn't go that far so far. 2-1 Southampton, says Nadir. Hello to Niall Kane. Thank you for tuning in. Guys, if you are enjoying the stream, remember to hit that like button and share if you want to as well. Be most appreciated as well. Yeah, but I think that's the toughest one to predict. But we will go on to the Carabao Cup winners. Liverpool against Norwich City. Liverpool have played Norwich City 3 times, and the scores have been 3-0, 3-0, and 3-1. Now, it is a cup tie. Norwich, fair enough, they did well to beat Wolves, but surely they'll want to get out of the cup as soon as possible because they're battling for relegation for sure.
Yeah, it was nice of you to give them a goal last time you played, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
I was looking at this game before when I was seeing who Norwich had to play, see if they had a chance of staying up, and I was thinking, okay, Liverpool in the FA Cup, it's got Liverpool win written all over it, isn't it? Even though Norwich have been playing better, they still, whenever they've come up against a good side like City or Liverpool in the league, they have lost quite comfortably. Even if you gave them a goal in this game, I still think you'd win. And they haven't stopped you scoring 3 yet, have they? So
no.
It's probably going to be. I think the thing is with Norwich, even when they put up a good fight, they still concede 2 or 3. And I'm thinking this one, it could be 3 again. Do I give Norwich a goal? They're not the best scoring team, are they? I think it might. I might go another 3-0 just because
3-0.
It's just Liverpool going to go for this, aren't they? And no matter how it goes in Europe, I think they're going to be up for the FA Cup because it's a competition that everybody wants to win. And yeah, as much as I don't mind Norwich, and I wouldn't mind seeing them at least come close to staying in the league. I'd rather other teams go down probably. I just don't think they can get anything against Liverpool. They're just not good enough. I just can't think of any argument in my head. Something strange has got to happen for it not to be a comfortable
win. I was thinking another 4-1 for some reason. I don't know why, but
you give Norwich a goal there.
I'll give Norwich a goal, but yeah, 4-1. I think. I think the team will be changed. There'll be a lot of tired legs. They will still be obviously probably celebrating right now, but I still think we'll have too much for them. For sure. Ravi's in. Big up the Liverpool gang. What a win. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Once Kepa stepped up, I'd already got beers out. Yeah, I mean, have you ever had a situation where your club has substituted their goalkeeper to actually sub on another goalkeeper who's good at saving penalties?
So this argument was made in the Europa League final, and then we saw Henderson try it in the FA Cup, and it didn't matter. It just doesn't. I think when I watched the shootout, there was maybe the last penalty. Kepa got his hand to it, and I think that was the one where, in the back of his mind, and I was watching it just thinking that was probably the one. That was probably the one you could have saved to win the cup for your team. And then after that, I don't know. I don't think I even saw the ball come down. I don't know if it's landed in the stadium or not. You know, when someone hit it, and you just think that, like Roberto Baggio in the '94 World Cup, and I just think I've never seen a penalty that high. It just, I've seen rugby conversions that are lower. It's one of those things, isn't it? And obviously, as a goalkeeper, normally in a penalty shootout, you don't get blamed because you're the hero because you get to save a penalty. And I was saying to you before we started live, are people just getting better at taking penalties? Because I'm seeing more and more shootouts just go through most of the team. And normally as a goalkeeper, you think, okay, I just saved one, I'll be the hero. You don't think I'm going to have to take a penalty. And I just think it's just obviously not fair play to your goalkeeper, a good penalty. And I think it just obviously hasn't practiced, and it's just not something you expect to have to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not landed in my back garden yet. I don't know if it's landed in your back garden.
Possibly. I'm a bit far from London, so that's probably someone that lives near the ground.
But what I will say, it wasn't as high as Charlie Adams in 2011. Because that one was just blazed over the bar. This one he's actually gone for power, and he's blazed over the bar. But Charlie Adams was so high left that is probably still travelling down Wembley Way. But yeah. It was good. It was good watching that. It was good watching that. As Shane O'Donnell says, the best goalkeeper sub was Netherlands in the World Cup in 2014. That's a good point, actually, because was it Jasper Cillessen in the Holland goal, and then Tim Krul came on to help Louis van Gaal? I think I've ever remembered that.
Louis van Gaal did do that, didn't he? I remember that now.
So I think that's the only real time I can really think of as well. Kepa hoping that penalty was paused and edited and moved ball into the back of the net.
I'll say it hasn't worked out particularly well getting a specialist penalty taker to come on to take one either. Thinking West Ham and Noble gets us at the start of the season.
Yeah, that backfired.
Sometimes it's better just sticking with the people that are in the match. They're warmed up, they're ready, and I think it's difficult to sit watching a game and then come on and be at the right level. So maybe it can work out if you've got a goalkeeper that is genuinely a specialist in saving penalties and you think it's going to make a significant difference. Otherwise, yeah, it might get there before you get there, Chris. Hit it with some power.
Yeah, but no, yeah, I'm going to go 4-1 Liverpool. I think we'll have too much for Norwich. Surely not Everton against Boreham Wood, ladies and gents. I mean, fair play to them to get through to the last the last 16 by beating Bournemouth, which was a very good result. But if I'm being honest, Bournemouth did rotate half their team in that game.
That's the danger, though, isn't it? That's the good thing about the cup is that you look at league position. And if one team changes half their team, then that sort of thing can happen. And Boreham Wood, I don't think a lot of football fans have any idea about Boreham Wood. Suddenly they've got a fantastic tie at Goodison. What a day out for Boreham Wood. It's surprising, but I was going to say Everton are struggling to get a result against anybody. And the last game against Man City, they were unlucky. They probably should have got a penalty. And surely this is Everton's day. I don't know. I can't think. Even the most negative Everton fan would have this down as a guaranteed home win. Surely you'd have to just be turning up at this match hoping to see a comfortable victory. And do you think there's a chance that Everton will heavily rotate, because they've got to be quite worried about the league? Obviously, there's a lot of pressure on Lampard for this match and the league matches.
Yeah, I think they will heavily rotate in this game. I don't see them playing their strongest 11. And yeah, I know Everton fans are obviously wanting a cup run as well to be because they haven't won anything since 1995. And I look at this Everton side. Yes, they were unlucky against Manchester City. I mean, Pickford was outstanding in that game. It has to be said. But magic of the FA Cup. This is the one game I just think Boreham would just see and think, we have a chance here. We have a chance to make history by knocking a Premier League side out away from home. They did it against Bournemouth. They deserve to win against Bournemouth. Everton will heavily rotate. Who are you fancying for this? Are you seeing a wee upset, maybe?
I think Everton are going to win it ultimately, but I think it's going to be closer than people think. It would be a fantastic. I just can't really see Boreham Wood. I just can't see how it would happen. I know it seems obviously shocks are not expected. I'm going to have to go at least, let's say 3-1 Everton. I think they will rotate.
3-1 Everton.
I just think they're going to. If they don't win this, then I'm going to start thinking, how are they in the Premier League?
I know.
I think it'll be one of these games where maybe it's 1-1 for a bit, and I don't know if Boreham would take the lead, and it's exciting, but ultimately I think Everton will wear them down and maybe get one or two late goals. I was thinking 2-1, but I'm going to go 3-1 Everton. It'll be the sort of game that if Everton are actually playing well, anyone in the team is going to want to really actually try and get some confidence against Boreham Wood. So I'll say 3-1.
3-1.
I'm hoping for an upset though. This would just be the best one.
I would love an upset. I would absolutely love an upset. But unfortunately, I just don't see it. I am going to go 2-1 Everton. I think it's going to be close, but I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be as one-sided as many people think. As Shane O'Donnell says, 2-1 to Everton. Oh, and for Reece James, shush. Oh, yes. Yeah. I know he scored his penalty and then went like that to the Liverpool fans. Yeah, karma. Unlucky.
Yeah, you got to be careful what you're doing, don't you, when you...
Very, 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 very strange. Now, I thought we were finished with this, but there is actually another game. And I have to say, I think it was one of the ties of the round in the last game. This is an old championship affair. It is Nottingham Forest against Huddersfield Town. This game is taking place not this week, next Monday. Now, I think Nottingham Forest are playing someone in the championship this midweek, because I think they've still got games left over from obviously, COVID. But how good were Nottingham Forest against Leicester? I think, obviously, sorry to any Leicester fans that are obviously watching this, but Forest were outstanding. James Garner, in especially, like, as a Manchester United fan, you must be pleased with the way his progress is going there.
Yeah, I think he's one that we've been talking about for the last since I started doing YouTube channels. And last couple of years, people are looking at him and thinking, is he good enough? And I think it's difficult to say when you're playing week in, week out in the Championship. When you see him against Leicester are a team where their strength is in midfield, with Tielemans and Ndidi, Maddison in front, and he's looked really good. And against Arsenal as well, they've not been smash and grabbed. They have played as well as those teams, and in Leicester's case, they did outplay Leicester, which was surprising. I thought it'd be a very tough game because you've got the Midlands rivalry, but you got to say he was outstanding. The team themselves, they've been really good, and in two teams against. I don't think Leicester took them too lightly. I don't think Arsenal necessarily did either. are a team that if they get promoted, I think they're outside of the playoffs at the moment, but their results have improved from the start of the season. I wouldn't mind seeing Nottingham Forest come up because of the rivalry with Leicester. It'd be good to see another team that's got a bit of a rivalry, a bit more history about them. And they're ones that it depends on. They're obviously going to want to get promoted. That's got to be the main aim. The cup run as well, though, they've done fantastically well against teams you expect to win against them. So overall, I would say Forest are favourites for this. It's going to be the first. It's going to be weird for them going into a cup game being the favourites.
I know, and actually, Huddersfield Town are on an amazing run of form. I think it's something like, I think it's something like 15 or 16 games unbeaten at the moment, and I mean they just went to Fulham and won 2-1, and you know Fulham are no easy match for anybody at Craven Cottage as well. I think they won at the weekend as well. I think they I can't remember who they beat, but they I think they won 1-0. So Huddersfield are going really, really well. This could be one of the ties in the round. I think this could have goal streak. I think.
I was thinking when I was thinking about score prediction, I was thinking I'd probably go a bit higher with this one, and I was thinking it could be 2-2 going into extra time, and it could be one of those really entertaining games to watch. So my prediction was going to be a 2-2 draw, extra time, and then maybe Forest to nick it. I think.
Yeah, I'm thinking Forest might nick this as well. I'm going to go with your score. I'm going to go 2-2. But I think it might be 3-2 to Forest after extra time. I don't think it'll go to pens. I think. Well, actually, does it go straight to pens? Actually, or does it go to extra time? I can't remember.
I think it's extra time.
I think it's extra time.
I'm going 2-2 Forest extra time. Win 3-2. Yeah. The same as you. For some reason, I think there's goals. I'm not sure why. I know Forest were pretty high scoring in the last round, and maybe that's why.
Yeah, I think so. Just very, very quickly, because I did obviously check the scores from last time. There wasn't much in it. I have to say, because I'm just looking at it now. I got 9 points in the last round. You got actually it was a draw. It was actually 9-9. It was a 9-9 draw in the last.
I've got less bias in it now. Now my team are knocked out. I'm going to be maybe less biased. But there's been a few shocks, hasn't there? Maybe that thrown people. Chris said it does go to extra time. So
okay.
In that case, this could be a really good one.
I think so.
I'm looking forward to this one plus the Southampton game. They're just two teams, both almost like next to each other, aren't they, in terms of like form and league position? I think these two, along with Fulham, you look at the top 5 of the Championship, they're probably as good, if not better, than the bottom 5 in the Premier League at the moment. There's not a lot of difference between them. So
no, absolutely not. But I know I'm looking at the other ties. Palace, Stoke. Depends if Palace will go on a cup run. Stoke might have a chance if they go and rotate. Middlesbrough, Tottenham. I think that is going to be a fantastic tie as well. Chris Wilder's got a very, very good record against Spurs, as he did have it against Sheffield United manager as well.
Yeah, there's going to be quite a few lower league teams in the next round after this, because you think that a couple of Premier League teams are going to get knocked out. Okay, a couple of all Championship games, but I think it's if you get the next round and get Liverpool, if they draw City or someone, you could end up with like quite an interesting final or semi-final between some of the smaller teams. So it does make it entertaining, but I think they're there by merit as well. Nottingham Forest, they're not there because they've got an easy run. They actually had a very difficult run and were better than Leicester. But Kidderminster West Ham went to extra time. That's true.
Oh, your tie went to extra time as well, didn't it?
Yeah, penalties as well. Trying to forget.
No, I won't remind you of that. But what I will say is, I think Manchester United fans just want penalty shootouts just erased from their memories.
Yeah, I don't know what obviously we got 2008 against Chelsea, but apart from that, it's not been really good for us. So,
No.
but there's no other way, really, is there?
No, absolutely not. Luton Town, Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea might still be. Actually, Chelsea might be a wounded animal. If I think about it, they might be a wounded animal going into that game. I think Southampton West Ham is a very, very interesting tie for sure, because that could be one of the games of the tournament for sure. Liverpool Norwich. I think everyone expects Liverpool to go through. Everton Boreham Wood. That is a potential banana skin for Everton. That has to be said. And then you've got the tie of the championship next week is Nottingham Forest. I was about to say Hartlepool, Huddersfield. Yeah, I mean both sides are in very, very good form. There's some very, very good ties in this round, and most of them are on TV. I believe there's a couple on BBC. So I think Luton Town Chelsea's on BBC. We're on ITV, I think, if I remember rightly, and I think Borough Tottenham's on BBC as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think if of the two games I would rather watch, probably Forest Huddersfield might be one, because obviously you got Garner, but Forest are a good team to watch. But I think Southampton West Ham for me, because I think either one of those teams could maybe, the obvious favourites in this competition are going to be Liverpool, Man City, but I think, and Chelsea probably. But I think if any team's going to give those teams a run for their money, it could be someone like West Ham. It could be Southampton. I mean, they got to the final not that long ago. But I think it'd be nice to see. You won't like this, but it'd be nice to see maybe like Chelsea against Liverpool or Liverpool against Man City next round, just so that maybe we could get a final of a couple of teams that don't normally get there. But I'm just saying that because we're not in it.
Yeah, I know you are. I know you are. But that was Chris saying, Harvey Elliott's going up to Kai Havertz. I won't stop dying. Oh, that was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Harvey Elliott is so small, and Kai Havertz is a man mountain. And look what happened there. Yeah, Kelleher's had a very good tournament. Totally deserved his place in the team today. And look what's happened. He scored the winning pen for us. Yeah, it goes to extra time. Because Mr. West Ham time went to extra time. I'll leave my predictions in the comments. Not a problem, Chris. Safe journey home. You'll definitely need it. And hello to Tom May, who is obviously a big Evertonian. How are you actually feeling? How are you actually feeling after the City game yesterday? Because I feel you guys were robbed. It's the most blatant handball I think I've ever seen.
When they go to the monitor, did he actually go to the monitor to check? So I just saw highlights of it.
Nope.
It seems surprising, doesn't it, that is it the same before VAR where you had the same sort of like right wrong decisions? Is it the same now, but we're just making the decisions take longer to do? It doesn't really feel like we've suddenly got decisions right or decisions wrong. It feels like we've got the same as before, but we wasted 10 minutes of the game. I don't know what people think.
It's just what is a handball anymore? Like what constitutes handball?
Who are we playing when? I'm trying to think who it was. Was it Middlesbrough or someone when they controlled the ball with their hand, then crossed it, then it was a goal, and that was fine. And you're watching it thinking, well, if he doesn't control it with his hand, it's not a goal. And it's like, oh, well, it's accidental. You go, well, okay, but it really helps you score. And then you just think, it hits your hand. Do you remember like a year ago when you blasted the ball at someone from point blank range and hit their shoulder? It was a penalty. And everyone got a penalty like most games. And then suddenly it's like, right, no penalties for anybody. I just don't know if I understand what the rule is anymore.
Nope, I don't know either. And I just don't.
Yeah, I think Tom's right. I think you got robbed a bit. There definitely seems to be a little bit of, let's just say, suspicious decisions.
Yeah. Douglas is back after the LFC Cup win. Will Everton lose? I don't think they will. Crystal Palace will win. What do you think? Well, how strong will Man City be for Peterborough? Hello, everybody. Hello, Ballum. Man City they'll go through. Peterborough are just wanting survival right now, so I don't see that. Five-hole Productions, good going, guys. Congrats, thank you very, very much. I think you're an Arsenal supporter, so you'll have enjoyed the game today. Some strange news. I can't see Chris Welsh comments and live comments. Strange. I know they didn't go to VAR Monster in Premier League. They do in other leagues yet. How does Phil say Merseyside club Liverpool lifting trophies, Tom? I've calmed down today. I was livid yesterday and we was robbed. Yeah, but
Can't
to be
argue with
fair,
that.
I have to say, Jordan Pickford, he has his critics earlier in the season, but I think he has improved this season massively. What do you think?
He gets a lot of stick, doesn't he? And because you look at like Pope doing well at Burnley and people questioning Pickford in being first choice for England, but I think in the Euros he played really well. And I don't watch loads of Everton, but very good on the weekend. Everton were robbed by Man City. I think it's
massively.
What's frustrating is that on a day where Everton have actually put in a really good performance, they haven't got what they deserved out of the game. Because you watch them going back last few weeks, they have been poor. When they did actually play really well, I think they got a bit robbed, and that's just annoying to see. Obviously, I'm a Manchester United fan. I don't really care if City or Liverpool win at the end of the day, if one of those two is going to win the league. But you just want to see at least get the decisions right. So as fans, you get a feeling that there is fair play. And Everton, I'm not surprised Everton fans feel. I was annoyed, and it doesn't affect me at all. But imagine if you're an Everton fan watching that, and your team puts in a great performance, you get robbed at the end. You just think, I don't know what to say. I guess Tom said quite a few things yesterday that you probably wouldn't want to.
Yeah, probably. As an Arsenal fan, I feel bad for everyone because City has ended up with 6 points, but deserved maybe 1 or 2. Yeah, I would agree. Guess handball and stuff is all decided by the VAR refereeing and stuff. Which they are going down, Rich? Thanks for answering. Take care, everybody.
Which 3? Do you know what? I said something a couple of days ago when we were doing I think a preview for the Watford game, and I was saying that there's a situation where you got a couple of teams near the bottom, so like Newcastle, Burnley, and even Watford, that are picking up points. Then the teams above them, Everton, Brentford, Leeds, all basically just dropping down the league, aren't they? They just generally keep losing. An Everton point would have been big yesterday. I think it could be like a 5-team race. I'm actually saying Newcastle are out of it. I think they're going to be in the relegation fight. They've won 4 out of 5, which after 20 games, 1 win, they've now won 4 out of 5. So fantastic turnaround. And whatever they did in the transfer window, it obviously worked. And whatever they've changes they've been doing behind the scenes, they've turned it around massively. Incredible change. So I think they're out of it unless they lose every single game, which I don't see happening. The teams I think are going to go down it's probably Norwich, as much as we like to say Norwich have got a chance. It's probably going to be them.
Unless you're Connor who thinks that Norwich might finish 16th.
I think the second team is probably going to be Watford. I think they're just. But then the third team, I'm struggling with. I'm actually thinking it might be Brentford. That they had the first half of the season. I'm not sure how many points they had the first half of the season, but they did do really well. Got a great draw with Liverpool, beat Arsenal first game of the season, had a lot of points on the board, looked pretty safe league position. They've now lost about 6 out of 7, 7 out of 8. They're just dropping like a stone, and a bad home defeat to Newcastle. I think they might be the third team down, and a lot of people 5-6 games ago were saying they had no chance of getting relegated. So I think it might be them. I think they might get run close by Leeds. I keep thinking Everton will somehow turn it around. I don't know.
What's your thoughts on Bielsa being Bielsa? I'm going to say part company. Bielsa doesn't get sacked. I know there's been loads of reports he has been sacked, but I think he's mutually agreed to walk away.
I think it's. You know what? trying to find opinions of Leeds fans. I think they're disappointed, but there's a combination of things. One, they've had a few injuries, but it's a results-based business, isn't it? And a lot of managers have done better than Leeds this season and have lost their jobs. So I'm not really surprised. It was a week of heavy defeats, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Heavy defeat to us, heavy defeat to Tottenham, and anyone that's played them has scored 4 goals against them recently. So
yeah, we scored 6 past them in midweek as well.
Exactly. You can't just keep assuming it's going to get better. I think they need to have a different. Whether he's a good manager when they got promoted, but maybe they need a manager that can actually just try and shore up their defence. Bielsa's not going to be doing that. I think maybe they just need someone that can help them survive, and maybe they can try and improve the squad in the transfer window. I think it's
Jesse Marsch is a bit of a gamble, I'd have to say.
Yeah, I didn't know too much about him. I know Leipzig manager, so maybe fans of the Bundesliga might know more. But an American, no experience of the Premier League, no experience of. I don't know. It's tricky, isn't it? I mean, you could argue that if you're losing every game 4-0, it doesn't make a difference. It's not going to be doing much worse. But it's a gamble. But I think they probably had to do something. I agree with Chris. I think Dyche, maybe losing Chris Wood and getting Weghorst in has actually benefited them. They actually look a lot better recently. I don't know if it's just him or whether, for whatever reason, they actually look quite good. So
I like Weghorst. Okay. I've always liked Weghorst. I think he's a great player, and he was fantastic for Wolfsburg. And I think Burnley have done really well. This half of the season has been fantastic. You have to look at what is in front of him that makes him look bad. You can't always save us from silly defensive mistakes. No, and I think Pickford yesterday was a double save from Kevin De Bruyne and then Bernardo Silva, which was fantastic. And as long as we win our home games, we should stay up. The away games are going to be the hit and miss. Yeah, I think I said last week, I said Everton, I don't think I'm going to win many away games. So I think you'd be right. Don't know how I'm getting connection to watch this on a train. I can see Balm comments. Between Brentford and Leeds to go down with Watford and Norwich. I just think Dyche is going to find a way again. Yeah.
I agree with Chris. I think it could be that Leeds could be the team that just survive.
Yeah. Jesse Marsch took Leipzig from top 4 team to 11th. Yeah, that was not good. Not good as well. And Marsch just the same defensively as Bielsa. Yeah, Marsch is not the best defensively either. So it's part and parcel.
Maybe it's more of the same then for Leeds. I was going to say, as a Manchester United fan, I was joking and saying that I quite liked it when Bielsa was in charge of Leeds because they're the one team that we could generally score 4 or 5 against. I don't think they've necessarily got the squad to be too much higher. They should be doing better than they are, though.
Yeah, 100%. Rich, thank you very, very much for coming back on to do another FA Cup stream. I know you are live later for is it a match reaction to Watford?
It's like a match reaction call-in. Got a few Manchester United fans on. If any Watford fans want to join or any fans of any club, they're absolutely welcome. But we'll probably talk about obviously our game yesterday, what that means in our season. Obviously, it's a big disappointment. Watford, if they don't stay up, I said this to a Watford fan, if they don't stay up, you can't blame us. We gave you 4 points. So we've done our bit and we will probably I think we beat Burnley once, drew with them. No, so I'll be doing that and getting a few callers on to have their say. But yeah, thanks for having me on again, Doug. And yeah, it's going to be, I think that this round's got a few interesting ties. And then when it gets to the draw, then we could possibly have some very interesting games to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward. Thank you very much to watching as well. Oh, Scott Blankley. Hello, Scott. Thank you for tuning in.
Cheers, Scott.
Hope you're well, and good luck against Burnley on Tuesday, which is not an easy place to go by any stretch of the imagination.
No,
but yeah, guys, if you have obviously if you have missed the stream, then please leave your predictions in the comment section down below. That would be absolutely fantastic. And if you are watching back as well, then let us know how you think the FA Cup fifth round is going to go. And Chris, with the final comment, Kepa penalty is on its way to Carlisle. Is going to get there before me. Oh no, I'm going to get told off. And then he says, "Take care, lads." And on that note, we will say goodbye and enjoy the FA Cup fifth round games on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then the Nottingham Forest Huddersfield game is next Monday. Most of these games are on TV. Enjoy the FA Cup if your team are still in it, that is, of course. And I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye bye.